Um, Hello everyone. Today we are doing our reminder video on how to solve two-step and multi-step equations. Mr. Caterino posted two other videos to this slide today that teach the traditional method, and I encourage you to watch those. Those of you that had me, however, in class, we learned some maybe different methods of how to solve those, and you are more than welcome to use those here as well. Even if you didn't have me, you could use this if it works well with your brain. Okay, so let's start in here. We're going to start with the two-step equations and then the multi-step. So if you were in my class, the two-step equation we talked about as being a shooter problem is what we talked about, where the equal sign is the door and X is like a shooter. And everybody's going to get out safe here. So if this were the door and this were a room, negative 80 is already safe from that shooter. They're running down the hall to get help. 1 and negative 9 still need to make it to safety, but the 1 has a better chance of getting out because it's furthest from the shooter right now. Okay, and so we get things out by doing the opposite. So the way we're going to get that plus 1 out is to subtract 1 from both sides. Okay, so we get it out, subtract the 1, but if we do that there, it's now out the door. We have to do it on the other side as well. So now we have negative 9x equal, and negative 80 minus 1 is negative 81. Everyone gets out safe, like I said, and so we are also going to get this negative 9 out, but this is negative 9 times x. So the opposite of multiplying is to divide. So to get the negative 9 out, we will divide by negative 9 because we're undoing the times. That gets that out. And we do that on the other side of the door, and we end with our answer x equal positive 9 because negative 81 divided by negative 9 is positive 9. So that was one way we discussed in my class how you could solve these two-step equations. And that actually is the traditional way, but talked about in a different scenario. Another way I showed my classes how to do this is to make a t-chart. So anytime you have a variable, an equal sign, and a number, you can use the t-chart method, okay? And so what that means is you draw a line down the equal sign, and you draw a line underneath the problem to separate it. We always label our left side with the variable, in this case x, and our right side is where the plain numbers go. The only rule for this was if you cross the equal sign line, this up and down line here, you have to make whatever crosses that line opposite. Okay, so let's go. 2x is in the x category, so we're going to keep it here. It did not, if I were to pick this up and move it, it does not cross the equal sign line, so we keep it positive 2x. 10 is a plain number. So if we were to pick 10 up and move it to this category, it crosses the line. So we have to make it opposite. So that would be negative 10. Negative 2 would stay in the number category. And again, if we were to pick this up and move it, we do not cross the line. So we're going to keep it negative 2. Now, once you have everything in their correct categories, we always add, okay? And we add on both sides. So I'm going to add here and I'm going to add here. So 2x plus nothing is still 2x. And put your equal sign back down. Negative 10 plus negative 2 is negative 12. And then there's always one final step. Once you've added everything up, there's always something that's right next to your x here that you usually have to, you either multiply or divide to get it out. You do the opposite of what's there. So in this case, 2 times x equal negative 12. The opposite of that would be division. So we're going to divide the 2 out, and we're going to end with our answer over here on the right side. X equal negative 12 divided by 2, which would be negative 6. Now, either of these methods should work if you do them correctly. It's up to you which one you choose. Okay, the final one is called a multi-step equation, and it's because there are several steps to get the final answer here. Okay, My class, we used a T-chart as well here. But remember, the rule in the T-chart is that in order to make the T-chart, there cannot be any parentheses in the problem. So the first thing that needs to happen here is we do need to get rid of the parentheses by distributing this -8. So distributing means we're going to multiply. So we're going to do -8 times -8x to give us positive 64x. Then we will distribute again. -8 times -6 is positive 48. And over on this side, there are no parentheses, so we get to just copy that part down. Now, to use a chart, I told you earlier, the rule is there has to be at least one variable. Yep, there is. Well, there's two, but that's okay. There has to be at least one number. Yep, and there has to be an equal sign. So we can use a chart on this one as well. And so we're going to put our line down the equal sign once again. And a line underneath. The line underneath is literally just to separate the problem from your work. Left side we label with our variable, right side with number, and we go piece by piece. 64x belongs in the x category, and it's going to stay positive because it didn't cross the equal sign line. 48 goes to the number category. It does cross the line, so it will be -48. -6x crosses the equal sign line and becomes positive 6x on the left side. And now -22 is going to stay on its side that it's already there, so we're going to keep it negative. Then we add, this time we have something to add on both sides. 64x plus 6x is 70x equals -48 plus -22 would be -70. And then again, we end up with a last step. We have to undo whatever is here. This says 70 times x. So to undo a times, we would divide by 70, goodbye 70. And we're going to divide by 70 over here to keep the balance and get the answer. So -70 divided by 70 is -1, and that is our final answer. Hopefully, everyone in my classes remembers how to do this. If you're not in my classes and you want to use that method, hopefully it will help you get the correct answers on today's lesson. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or your math teacher. Have a great, wonderful day. Everybody stay safe, and we will see you all soon.